A journey through time.
Hi family, I'm your girl Wendy. Welcome to my channel. And if you notice if you've been following my channel, you notice the totes, right? Well, I want to show you an even more beautiful way to bring them out even more, okay? Just making it a set and adding a few little extras to it. So let's go and get into it. Okay, we're going to start with the wallet, okay? So you're going to cut you out a 8x4 piece of cardboard, okay? 8 is in width, 4 is in height, okay? You need 2 of those. Then place them on the desired Dollar Tree bag that you picked out and trace them out, okay? And then cut both of them out. Once you've done that, put those 2 aside and you're going to take your 2 pieces and get you some tape and you're going to tape around them, okay? You're going to leave a little opening in the middle and you're just going to go over it twice, all right? And then you're going to just fold it both ways. Just fold it so it is flexible and movable for you, okay? Clean up around your cardboard once you've done this because most of the time when you tape these 2 pieces together, one side is bigger than the other, all right? So then we're going to go on and take our paper and we're going to place some glue on the back of our tape cardboard. Please do not put any glue where you put that strip of tape at, okay? So then you're going to glue it down to the paper and then we're going to cut it out. As you see, I am leaving some sides on each one. Make sure you cut your pieces out where it folds like a present, okay? You see how I opened it up and made little squares on the side so it lay down nicely. Also make you some slits right there where the tape is, okay? Because you don't want nothing, restricting you from being able to fold your wallet. So you're going to do this all the way around. Just tape it to your cardboard. Now that you've done that, now it's time to take those 2 pieces that you sized up earlier and fill in those spaces right there so the inside of the wallet can be covered as well. Make sure you glue down all your edges so you have a nice clean finish. Now we're going to take the side of the bag and we're going to use that side piece and we're going to fold it in half. And once we fold it in half, we're going to cut it in half. After cutting in half, we're going to just fold it like a fan. Go back and forth until you have a full fan. All right. You're going to do this for both of those pieces. So I'm going to slow this down. Okay. So you're going to now take your fan and you're going to place it and size it up on your wallet. Okay. Only on one side of it. Right. So you're going to lay it down just like this. All right. And then you're going to size it up from how tall the wallet is. You want to leave a little space at the bottom so your wallet can fold, and you need to leave a little space at the top. Clip off the rest that you do not need, where I'm doing it right here. So once you clip that off, what you're going to do is going to place it in there again. You see how I have space at the top and the bottom. So when I close this thing, that it should close nicely and seamlessly, just like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some glue and we're going to glue that edge right there. Once we put some glue on that edge, we're going to place that edge onto where we already had it placed on the wallet. Make sure the white is on the inside. The design is facing the outside of your wallet, okay? And you just place it on there and rub it in real good. From the inside is probably best for you to rub it in just like I'm doing right here. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side as we did on the first side that I showed you guys. Now all we need to do is glue the other side. Okay, and the best way to do that safely, honestly, is just to add the glue to the other part of the wallet, okay? The basic part of the wallet. Just go all the way up, only where you need it at, and then fold it in while holding the little fan together to lay it down on top of it. And then you just hold it there for a moment. Now you should have a nice little fan effect on one side. Okay. So we're going to do this on the other side. And now you have like a little pocket area that you could put things in, prayer cards, anything you desire actually. So now we're going to go ahead on and make the little flap on it. Okay. And this is really preference more than anything else. You're just going to, follow your heart on this part. I just cut straight up and then I'm just going to make a nice little oval cut around the top of it, clean it up a little bit, round it off at the top, just to my liking. gonna size it up to my wallet to make sure it looks like something. Then I'm gonna just glue it onto my bag and cut it out in the same shape. Then I'm gonna cut some small slits in it so I can fold it over onto the cardboard a little easier. Then we're gonna glue it down to the cardboard all the way around. So now we're gonna glue another piece on top to cover the rest of the cardboard up, and we're gonna cut it out, clean it up, and place it on our wallet. Now we're gonna add Velcro to it so we can have it where to open and close. And that's pretty much it for that one, y'all. So let's move on to the next part. So first I'm going to show you how to get the flap part on here, okay? So we're going to use the red box, the red tote to show you how. Okay, so you already know how to put the tote together as far as just putting your paper on, okay? So that's what this is. So now we're going to size it up. So get the tote that you're going to use, okay? And then you put the cardboard down on top of it and then draw a line. Just trace it out so you'll have the right width of the tote that you have, all right? So once you draw the line out, go ahead on and cut that piece off so you'll already have it, so you don't just have extra cardboard just laying around in your way. Now, at the bottom of your cardboard, you're going to measure out 1.5 inches, okay? And then once you do that, you're going to draw a line across there. This is going to be for your back part of your tote. Once you draw that line, you're going to splice that line, and then we're going to place it back on the tote to see if it's right. Once you've done that and it looks good, now just take a pencil and mark the edge of where your tote stops at on both sides, because this is where you're going to splice your second piece, okay? I'm sorry I'm out of frame. I didn't realize it until now, but you're going to mark it right there where your tote stops at, right there at the edge, and you're going to splice that piece, and then you're going to put it back on your box and see if it's right again. Okay, so the last piece, now all you need to do, now that you got those two parts right, is to get that front right. All right, so mine is just 2 inches, okay? So I just measured 2 inches, and then I draw my line, and then I'm going to cut that piece out, all right? Once I do that, I'm just going to make my own little swerve, like a little curve or round edges on each end, because I don't want it to be square in the front like it is in the back. Now just take your desired paper cover, and you go on and put some glue on the side that you want to be facing outward, the outside of your flap, okay? And you're going to glue that to the paper. Make sure when you're doing that you're folding your box, okay? Because you know you have little bends in it and you don't want the paper to restrict that. Again, do not glue on those creases. And then just cut it out, and we're going to fold it in on top of the box, kind of like we do everything else, okay? You already know to make some cuts where your box been at, okay? So it'll be flexible for you, all right? So just go around the box, cut it out real nice and neat, and just glue it down and make the cuts where are needed, all right? So which is the 2 side creases on both ends. And if you don't know what I mean by that, okay, you see how I'm like making little splices here and there? Where the curve is, I'm making a splice, right? Making a nice little cut there, so it will fold in nicely. And you see where the crease is? That's where I'm cutting it at, because that's where the box folds at, okay? So you would do this where you have your little creases at, and it should lay down pretty much easy for you without any force. And so when you fold your box, you won't rip your paper at the same time because you cut it in the crease, kind of like that, okay? And you're going to do this all the way around. You see I cut it again at the other crease where it folds again, all right? So you're going to do this all the way around this lid. Then you're going to size up all 3 pieces individually for the inside, okay? And that's because you have these creases on here. So the first piece is my red piece. It's going to go in the middle, so I'm going to size that up first, and then I'm going to size up the other 2 pieces. So when placing them down before gluing them, make sure that you size it up where it lays on the crease. It don't lay on top of the crease, because then your flaps are not going to fold, okay? Fold your flap in while you're gluing that 1 piece down. Then you can go ahead on and cut that piece out. Then we're going to do the same procedure at the other end before we do the middle part. Okay, so now you get your zip tie, and then you're going to flip the top over. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to punch a hole in both sides of it. Okay, so just gauge it if you want to. I didn't do any measuring, and just punch your hole in it. Okay, and then once you do that, you take your zip tie and you're going to run it through the back end, right up under it, and on the other side like that. Okay, and then you're going to lay the zip tie down just like that, and you're going to glue it to your base. All right, and hold it for a few minutes. All right, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, but you're going to cut a piece of it off first because that's way too long. So you size up how high you want your handle to be, okay? And that's what I'm doing right here. And then you're going to just nicely flip it back over and you're going to cut it, and then you're going to glue that down to the other side. Now, once you get both of these little zip tie flaps glued down, you're just going to glue your paper on top of it. Now the only thing left to do is take your flap and find the back part of your box, your tote, and then you're just going to glue it on to the back of it really nice and tight. And there you have it. You have your flap ready to go. Now we're going to jump back to the white one so I can show you how to put the fur on. So there's really nothing to this part. You're just going to cut you some real thin strips of the fur that came from Dollar Tree, of course. And then you're going to just put it at the edge of your tote, and this is just giving it a little more style and a little bit more pizzazz. Okay, you're gonna go all the way around it until it looks good to you or to your liking. And the handle is pretty much the same. You're just gonna wrap until you get to the other end. When you run out on one piece, take some glue, add it to your zip tie, and keep on trucking until you get to the other end of the tote. And then just add your Velcro strips to it. That's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope you found some value in this video. I hope you're able to LLC it, and I hope it was useful. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe in hopes to see you on my next video. Bye for now.